This episode was brought to you by ProCare Hanoi, the phone and laptop repair shop trusted by the expat community. Fast service, clear communication, and honest advice, exactly what you need when your tech starts to sweat. This podcast is a labor of love, and if you found value in any of the episodes, I'd love your support. Buy me a coffee is the simplest way to say thanks, and trust me, every single cup keeps me going. Just scan the QR code in the podcast cover art. And to those who've already supported, huge thanks. You're fueling this journey. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are wading into the trenches. We are tackling a topic that, if I'm being honest, usually makes me want to curl up in a ball and hide in the pantry.
Oh, I know this one.
We're talking about parenting, but not the Instagram version where everyone is wearing beige linen and smiling at a sunset. We are talking about the loud, messy, sticky, chaotic reality of raising humans without completely losing your mind.
It's the universal struggle, isn't it? The gap between the parent we want to be and the parent we actually are at, like 5:30 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Exactly. And to help us close that gap, or at least understand it, we are diving into the audio series Mindfulness for Parents, Presence over Perfection. We're specifically taking a microscope to episode 24, Staying Present When Life is Loud. And I have to say, that title alone feels like a personal attack. When life is loud. When is it not loud?
I mean, I think silence is actually more terrifying for a parent. If it's quiet, something expensive is being destroyed.
100%. If I don't hear noise, I assume the absolute worst. But here's the thing about mindful parenting. When I hear that phrase, I immediately check out. It feels like just another thing I'm failing at. I picture someone meditating on a cushion for an hour before their kids wake up, drinking herbal tea, and never ever raising their voice. And frankly, who has time for that?
That is precisely the myth this deep dive is here to bust. The material we're looking at today, it starts with a very provocative premise. If you think mindfulness requires silence, a dark room, and 30 minutes of solitude, you're missing the point entirely. The argument here is that conscious parenting isn't about what you do when you're alone. It's about what happens when you are surrounded by deadlines, a sink full of dishes, and a screaming toddler.
See, that's the hook. Because if the bar is never get annoyed, I fail before breakfast. But you're telling me the goal isn't to be a Zen monk.
Absolutely not. In fact, one of the core arguments here is that mindfulness in parenting has almost nothing to do with being calm all the time.
Really?
It's actually about what happens after you lose your cool.
Okay, wait, let's pause there because that feels huge. We carry so much guilt about losing it.
Right.
We snap, we yell, and then we spend the rest of the night beating ourselves up. Are you saying the snapping isn't a failure?
That's exactly what I'm saying. The material identifies the problem not as the anger itself, but as the pressure we put on ourselves to be perfect. The text calls it the myth of the perfect parent.
The myth of the perfect parent.
Yeah. It reminds us that real life is designed to trigger you. It is, quote, loud, busy, and unpredictable. You have external stressors, work emails, school demands, and then you have these tiny humans who have zero emotional regulation.
Right, it's the unpredictability that gets me. You can have a plan, and then boom, an emotional explosion because I cut the toast into triangles instead of squares.
The toast tragedy, a classic. And the point is, you cannot control that factor. You cannot control the chaos.
No.
So if your definition of mindfulness is controlling the environment so I never get stressed, you will fail 100% of the time.
So if we can't control the chaos, and we're inevitably going to get annoyed then, how do we redefine mindfulness? Because it just breathe feels a bit dismissive when someone is screaming at your kneecaps.
Here is where it gets really interesting. The distinction made here is that mindfulness is not about prevention, it's about recovery.
Recovery.
The specific phrase used is noticing sooner and repairing more gently.
Noticing sooner and repairing more gently.
Think about that shift. It's not never get angry. It's noticing that you are angry before you say something you regret. Or, if you do say it, it's about how you come back from it.
I like that distinction. It shifts the goalpost from perfection to presence.
Precisely. The argument is that children do not need perfect parents. In fact, a perfect parent would be a terrible role model because they wouldn't be human.
That's a good point.
What kids need are parents who can return to the present moment over and over again.
It's the return that matters. It's like a rep in the gym.
Yeah.
Every time you get distracted or frustrated and you bring yourself back, that's the muscle growing.
Exactly. And that coming back is what the child registers. They don't need you to be a robot. They need to see you navigate the storm.
Okay, but let's talk about the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not that I'm angry, it's that I'm just checked out. I'm physically in the room, but my brain is in my inbox or doom scrolling on my phone. And then the guilt creeps in that I'm not spending enough quality time with them.
Ah, yes. The economics of attention. This is a massive part of the analysis. We live in an attention economy, and our kids are competing with the smartest algorithms in the world for our focus.
And usually the algorithms win, let's be honest.
They often do. But the material offers a really relieving perspective here regarding quality versus quantity.
Oh, good.
We tend to think, oh, I need to play Legos with my kid for 2 hours to be a good parent. But be honest, how much of that 2 hours are you actually there?
Maybe 10 minutes. The rest of the time, I'm planning dinner or wondering if I replied to that Slack message.
Exactly, and kids feel that. They know when you're a hollow shell. The finding here is that a few minutes of full, intense attention often means more than hours of distracted time.
See, that's counterintuitive. We think volume matters.
No.
But you're saying it's about intensity.
It's about the saturation of the connection. 5 minutes where you are completely locked in, phone away, eye contact, listening to their rambling story about Minecraft without interrupting, that fills their emotional cup completely.
Without interrupting is the hard part. I always want to jump in and correct facts or speed the story up.
Right, because we are efficient adults. But stopping that urge is part of the work. The text lists specific tactical actions for this. 1, put the phone physically away, not face down on the table, but in a drawer.
Okay.
2, eye contact. And 3, just listen.
Eye contact seems so basic. But I realized the other day I was having a full conversation with my son while unloading the dishwasher, and I didn't look at his face once.
And that sends a subtle message. It says, you are a background task. When you stop, crouch down to their level, and look them in the eye, you are signaling safety.
You're building what the experts call emotional safety.
You're telling them, you are the most important thing in my universe right now.
And that safety probably helps them regulate their emotions, right?
Yeah.
Like if they feel seen, they don't need to scream to get attention.
Bingo. A child who feels emotionally safe because they get these bursts of pure presence is generally more regulated than a child who has a parent hovering around all day but never actually landing.
That makes me feel a lot better about those days where I'm working late. If I can just carve out that 15 minutes of pure focus, it counts.
It counts more than you know.
Okay, so we got the theory down. Notice sooner, repair gently, quality over quantity. But let's get into the trenches. I want to talk about the one breath technique mentioned in the material.
Yes.
Because when my kid is melting down at the grocery store and everyone is staring, taking a breath feels like the last thing I'm capable of doing. It feels almost laughable.
It does feel ridiculous in the moment, doesn't it? Your body is in fight or flight mode, your adrenaline is spiking.
Right.
You want to fight the tiger, or in this case, the toddler.
Exactly. So how do we actually apply this without feeling like we're just pretending to be calm?
The material outlines a simple practice for busy parents, and what I appreciate is that it acknowledges the physiology of stress. It's not just think happy thoughts, it involves the body.
Okay, walk us through it step by step.
Okay. Step 1. You feel the overwhelm rising, the heat in the face, the tight chest. You pause for exactly 1 breath before you respond. Just 1.
Okay, 1 breath I can do. I can buy myself 2 seconds.
Step 2 is the game changer. You place 1 hand on your chest or your stomach. The text calls this a somatic anchor.
A somatic anchor. So we're getting out of the spinning thoughts and physically touching base with the body.
Right. There is actually biological reasoning here. Physical touch, even your own, can help interrupt the sympathetic nervous system's response. It's a signal to your body that you are safe. It breaks the loop.
So I'm standing there, chaos ensuing, hand on my chest. I probably look a little weird, but I'm doing it. What's step 3?
Step 3 is a silent mantra. You say to yourself, this is a hard moment.
This is a hard moment. You know, that's surprisingly gentle.
It is.
Usually my internal monologue is more like, why are you doing this to me? Or I am going to lose it, or everyone is watching.
Which just ramps up the stress, right? It adds a layer of judgment and panic. But saying, this is a hard moment, is radical acceptance. You aren't fighting the reality, you're acknowledging it.
It feels like validation. It's almost like you're parenting yourself in that moment.
That is exactly what you are doing. You are putting on your own oxygen mask. The expert explains that this sequence, pause, touch, acknowledge, moves you from a reaction to a choice.
That's the key. Reaction versus choice. Reaction is screaming. Choice is, well, maybe still being firm, but not losing my mind.
It breaks the autopilot. It gives you just enough space to decide, okay, I'm going to pick him up and leave the store, rather than standing there yelling. It doesn't fix the kid. The kid is still screaming, but it fixes you.
And that leads into the next point, which I found honestly kind of terrifying. We spend so much time trying to teach our kids how to behave.
Yeah.
Say please, don't hit, use your inside voice.
Right.
But the section on teaching mindfulness by example suggests we might be focusing on the wrong channel entirely.
This is the concept of teaching by osmosis, or the hidden curriculum.
It's the idea that they aren't listening to our lectures, they're watching our live stream.
There are 24/7 surveillance cameras. The host in the source material notes that children don't learn emotional regulation from words. They learn it by observing how the adults in their ecosystem live.
Which is high pressure. Because if I handle stress by slamming the dishwasher door and muttering under my breath, I'm literally teaching a class on how to handle frustration.
Exactly. You are teaching them that frustration equals physical aggression and passive-aggressive muttering. The source lists 3 specific things kids are constantly auditing.
Okay.
First, how we handle stress. Second, how we speak to ourselves. And third, how we repair after mistakes.
The how we speak to ourselves one hits me hard. If I drop a plate and say, oh my God, I'm such an idiot, my kid is filing that away as, this is what we do when we make a mistake. We shame ourselves.
Yes, and they will replay that script when they make a mistake at school. But flip it. If we connect this back to the one breath technique, imagine your child sees you get overwhelmed. They see you stop. They see you put your hand on your heart. They see you take a deep breath. And then they hear you say, I'm feeling really frustrated right now, so I'm going to take a minute.
You're modeling the toolkit.
You are normalizing the regulation. You're showing them that big feelings are safe and that there is a strategy to handle them. The source puts it beautifully. When children see adults slow down and breathe, they internalize that it is safe for them to do the same.
It stops being this abstract concept of calm down.
Yeah.
And becomes just what we do in this family.
Exactly. And this brings us to the third point of observation, how we repair. Because let's be real, even with the hand on the chest and the deep breath, sometimes we are going to blow it. We are going to yell.
Oh, 100%. I yelled this morning.
And that's okay. The source emphasizes that the repair is actually a more powerful lesson than the perfection.
Walk me through that. How is messing up a lesson?
Well, if you never messed up, your child would never learn how to fix a relationship. But if you yell, and then 10 minutes later you go to them and say, hey, I lost my cool, I was feeling overwhelmed and I shouted, that wasn't your fault and I'm sorry. Next time, I'm gonna try to take a breath first.
Wow. Think about what that teaches.
It teaches humility. It teaches conflict resolution. It teaches that love isn't fragile. It can withstand a rupture and come back stronger.
That's the rupture and repair concept.
Exactly. The mistake becomes the teaching opportunity.
That is such a relief, seriously, because it takes the pressure off getting it right every single time. It means my bad moments aren't failures. They're just setups for a repair.
As long as you actually do the repair, that's the caveat. You have to circle back.
Right. You can't just yell and move on. You have to own it.
Presence over perfection. Perfection is fake. Presence includes the messy stuff.
So let's zoom out and look at this roadmap we've uncovered. Because we started this conversation feeling like mindfulness was this impossible, quiet mountaintop we couldn't reach.
And we've discovered it's actually right down here in the mud with us.
We started with the myth of the perfect parent, realizing that the goal isn't zero anger, but faster recovery.
Noticing sooner, repairing gently.
Then we looked at the economics of attention. It's not about logging hours. It's about the intensity of the connection. 5 minutes of phone-free eye contact buys you a lot of emotional safety.
Which regulates the whole house.
We got tactical with the one breath technique, the somatic anchor, hand on chest. This is a hard moment, moving from reaction to choice.
Breaking the autopilot.
And finally, the scary but empowering realization that our kids are learning from our stumbling just as much as our success. If they see us regulate, they learn to regulate. If they see us repair, they learn to forgive.
It all comes back to that central theme. The goal isn't to stop the chaos. You cannot stop the chaos. The goal is to change how you navigate it.
It changes the definition of success. Success isn't a quiet house. Success is a connected house, even if it's loud.
Especially when it's loud, that's when the real work happens.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought to chew on. We've talked a lot about repairing, and it makes me wonder if the most important part of mindfulness in parenting is the repair. Does that mean our mistakes are actually necessary?
That's a provocative question.
Think about it. If we were perfect, our kids would never learn resilience. So instead of viewing a meltdown, ours or theirs, as a failure, could we view it as a necessary setup for a moment of deep connection? It flips the script entirely.
It turns the adversary, the mistake, into an ally. It means you don't have to fear the bad days.
Exactly. Something to think about the next time you find yourself taking that deep breath in the middle of a grocery store tantrum, hand on your chest, looking like a weirdo, but feeling like a pro.
Wear it with pride.
We want to thank you for diving deep with us today. This material from the Mindful Living series is really powerful stuff, and I feel a little lighter just having talked through it.
Absolutely. It's a good reminder that we are all works in progress.
And a final nod to the folks who help keep our tech lives running smoothly, as mentioned at the top. Procare Hanoi has been keeping devices alive since 2009, with that same reliability we're trying to build in our homes. That's it for us today. Remember, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be present.
See you next time.
Take care.